Day with Caleb. We are at McKay's. Josh, the movie collector, had a piping hot caffeinated beverage, but it is not hot, or there's really not anything in there. That's for you, Adam. But we are here at the Mebane McKay's. Last video, we were in McKay's Winston-Salem, which was a pretty neat store. Had about less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
A little more than an hour and a half, but only was able to do one full trade. So we're going to finish our, I guess I should say, pick up right where we left off with trade-in, and we're going to explore this brand new to us store, McKay's.
It's beautiful, by the way, the exterior.
When I pulled up, I'm like, bougie. This is bougie. We'll get a full detailed video and show it off. But we have now hit every McKay's except for Nashville, right?
Yeah, and Nashville is closing.
Yeah, R.I.P.
One big reason they never remodeled like this. This is amazing.
Knoxville, from the day I stepped in there when I went to college, it has not changed one bit. The only thing is obviously new stuff. That was... But let's check out this new store. Woo. Who's ready? Okay, picking up from the trade that I couldn't do yesterday, my comics mixed in with some movies that they wouldn't take, but hopefully this location will. And this is what the second trade will be. More movies. Alright, Josh's trade in. He's got a big tote. Here's what we got left. Puzzles, plush, books I think in there, toys, and then big stuff. I'm hopeful they'll take big stuff like this, especially this Barbie. I think they will. So Josh is loading that. We're going to take my 3 totes now. Comment your guesses down below. We are $6.80. Right there's the trade-in. That's pretty cool. Knoxville used to have an outdoor thing, but I think they changed it. Or you can do...
Or Chattanooga.
Maybe I'm thinking of Chattanooga. Yeah. Comment down below. Actually, one time I did film the trade-in process on video outside. But Josh is ready. Did I say 680? We're 680. So we're going to go in, look for some stuff, and wait for 680 to be called. A little bit of the layout. Already seeing stuff I might want. Some X-Men. Wildcats. That's pretty neat. Vision. Okay, we have the bargain. I think I'm going to wait a little bit for that. We are checking out new arrivals. They have a lot of seasons of good eats, which I was never a huge fan of. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's not something I want to get. Rizzoli and Isles. I have the complete series box set of that. Coraline, I needed for a long time. Have though now. I gotta look up if I have Wacky Races, and then they have this W.C. Fields Tim Film Collection. Have some Carol Burnett, I guess volumes. That's pretty neat. They do sell some VHS, which is cool to see. probably not am needing. I gotta look that up and see. I want all the Universal Horror monster movies, the classic collection. I actually needed the Mummy's Ghost, and they have some Dragon Ball Z, which is cool. I have the complete run on DVD, but ooh, that's pretty neat. Murders and Numbers. Cool to see some retro games here. X-Men. Used to play this one all the time on Genesis. These were both super hard. Did you find the Genesis version harder or the Super Nintendo? Comment down below. I don't know if I'll get any of these, but this is a lot of Survivor. We have the Amazon, Heroes vs. Villains, China, Fiji, Cook Islands, Gabon, Guatemala, Panama. I think I just picked that up at Winston-Salem, and I have Palau already. That is cool to see because these are burn-on-demand studio things. You had to get them from the website. So they're like $30 a pop on there. So I might be coming home with some Survivor. The only thing though, this is part 1. I probably could never find part 2. I don't know why. CBS, why do you do that? Was it just for more money so you could do part 1 and part 2? And this has a big case, and then there's the smaller case version. And if you didn't know, Steph, right here at the top, was the sole survivor of her tribe. Every immunity they lost, her and Bobby John for Final 2 had to make fire, and she won. But they were decimated. Still a great season, though, of television. Not paying $39, but it's cool to see some Criterion here. Got $276.95 for the first trade here. This will be my second trade, smaller trade. But let's see what I get on my second trade. The second trade-in, number 703. Trying to stay away from Funko, but they have all 3 of the Hogwarts Express engines. And look how big this Grogu Funko is for $35. Love X-Men Evolution. Looking at the games, diving into some GameCube. Who had GameCube growing up? Me and Josh did, for sure. And this was one of my favorite games, NBA Street Volume 2. Some Harry Potter, Spyro. Oh, Shrek 2. We actually rented this, I think via Warehouse, and played it all night long. I believe, isn't this the one with the multiple characters? Maybe that's 3? Comment down below. The face of shame, right? Or
I still
defeat.
got another trade.
Face of defeat.
I got 2 more trades.
133. So I finally won a trade. Finally, after all this time of trying and trying, I finally beat Josh at trade. Diving into the Super NES cartridges, I have a, what's it called, Josh? A Mini?
Yeah.
Super Nintendo Mini. So technically I don't need these, but if they had like Guts are... Oh, they have Aladdin, actually. Just for nostalgia, maybe get a cartridge or two.
I'm looking for Scooby-Doo.
Oh, Scooby-Doo. Home Alone? I doubt they would have War of the Gems, but something like that would be cool. Guts, Sunset Rider, Killer Instinct, something like that. Possibly Aladdin. That was a tough playthrough as kids. Actually rented it and for a whole week played with our buddy Adam, like all night, all day, played Aladdin. And at the end of each level you would get codes in the form of like characters. So it would be like Aladdin, Genie, Jasmine, Sultan, Jafar. Comment down below if you played Aladdin. Second trade-in, $75.51. Trade number 3 was $7.23. Do the sad little violin, Josh. Beat me. That's
money.
That's
the money.
Shocker. I had what, 75? Josh has 238. For my third trade-in, $52.70. And here are the rejections. I did have movie rejections as well. We might do a video. I think Josh is doing one. Copy him a little. What I do with the rejections from McKay's. Comment down below if you would like to see that. Trade number 4, number 762. So Josh found me new release, Freakier Friday for $13. That's not bad.
I found myself this.
Yeah. It's the making of the animated series. That is awesome. Inside Tokens, The Lord of the Rings. Always cool to see Mary-Kay and Ashley. I don't think I need these. And then Three Ninjas. Have the triple feature and then the original by itself. And Seasons of Diagnosis Murder have the complete series already. So these were books that we were going to split and trade, but Josh, his generosity is letting me have this. Thank you. Some cool box sets here. Going with the Wind. This is a really good Abbott and Costello. I have it. And then some Marilyn Monroe Diamond. I might need... I think I have volume 1. I might need volume 2. On second thought, probably pass. I have the VHS of volume 1, and I have all of them on DVD for the most part. There's probably some I'm missing. But for $26 and this one being kind of gross, we're going to pass for now. But it's always cool to see the old classics, Marx Brothers, Wizard of Oz, all the Criterion up there. What? I lost track of trade-in. Is this 4 or 5? Anyway, $34.96 for the last trade of this McKay's trip, and today $7.86. And I should clarify, Josh is done trading. Well, he's trading in for me, but he's done himself. Josh, I
get to keep this, right? I gave you the books, so
yeah.
Fair trade.
This is my stuff. It was board games and a picture, Wonder Woman.
Board games and a Wonder Woman picture.
So it was like a little mini billiards, Star Wars Risk, Wonder Woman, and another board game I can't think of, but $27.97. And we have one more trade-in that I'm waiting for. The last trade-in value, $26.71. We're doing pickups in a second, but I had to show this beauty off. And what'd you find?
I found this at Goodwill.
Oh, that's the one? Yeah.
I need the first one.
This is the original Risk we used to play back in the day when we had friends. And then VHS board game Star Wars and Scooby-Doo Clue. That's going to be fun to play. That was Mebane. McKay's still actually have some trade-in, but that will actually be the last video because we're going back to Winston-Salem to use the rest of our trade-in. So let's cut to pickups now. Welcome back to the pickups corner. This covering the pickups we got from McKay's Mebane, which was about an hour and 10 minutes away from where we were staying in Winston-Salem. And this was an all-day thing. Well, most of the day. We got an early morning, ate breakfast, left the motel about 7:45-ish, 7:50. Got to McKay's a little after 9. And then we were there doing trade-ins and shopping until 2:30 or 3, I believe, maybe closer to 4. Then we drove to McKay's Winston-Salem to use up our remaining balance of, I think, 150 I had. Josh had more, I think. But that pickups was in the last one. This is all Mebane pickups, where we spent a majority of the day. And we got this bad boy, the Uncanny X-Men adventure game. And this has 18 figures. I don't think I've ever seen a board game with that many figures. I did look inside, they're all in there. Everything looks to be complete. You see here 18 collectible figures, 18 stat cards, alert cards, training cards, game board, game dice, hit chips, strength indicators. And you get 50% off Marvel Comics subscription. That's probably expired by now. But this is a beautiful board game. It was a little high at $30, but since I had trade credit, you kind of treat it like free money. Almost. I mean, I didn't go crazy spending. I did spend quite a substantial amount on trade-in, but a lot of it was for upgrades, new releases, and some amazing stuff, including the board game. You know, it wasn't way overpriced, but it was right at market. Surf's Up. I do have this with the second one, but I want it separately. Giant Quest versus Cyber Insects. This, and then there was Golden Era, Goldenrod after Giant Quest. Then the real, the New Adventures of Giant, no, that's after Giant Quest. The Real Adventures of Giant Quest was after those. Glad to have that. Then I did get some VHS. We have Mummy's Ghost. I am trying to get all the Universal Horror movies, monster movies on VHS, and Asteroid. And I'm just now noticing it must have had something with it, because that circle is incomplete. Huh. Maybe like a bonus tape or something. Anyway, so I got the VHS there. I got a Funko Pop for $8, a Target exclusive of Hobgoblin. So that's cool. I do have Madam Web. She's like a bigger Funko Pop. I do have the Spider-Man. Missing Black Cat and Dr. Octopus, though. I wonder why they just released the 5 pops for Spider-Man. That's interesting. Then a new release, Freakier Friday. I have seen this on... Did I see it on Hulu? Yeah, on Hulu. Good movie. Obviously not as good as the original, but still a good standout movie. Solid. W.C. Fields' 10 movie collection. And you can see there the 10 films. Won't read them all. You can take a screenshot and look. Then Body of Lies I have on DVD, but this might be one that was affected 2009. So I think this was one of the ones. So I wanted to get it on Blu-ray just to be safe. And for $1, you can't go wrong with that. Derailed I do have on DVD, but a good thriller, a good crime thriller. So I want it on Blu-ray. Chronicles of Narnia: The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and this is like a special release. It has like a book and the disc inside, and it's a unique way they like fold out into. Well, let's show it. Well, I thought it had a booklet. Maybe it doesn't. Or it's in, yeah, the book is inside there. I won't take it out, but see how it folds out, and there's a disc there, and then there's a disc on each side. Unique. It's not my favorite packaging in the world, but certainly unique. So for $5, why not? I had that on DVD, I believe. Then X-Men, The Legend of Wolverine. Of course, I have the X-Men animated series on the 4-volume DVD sets, but that is a cool release to have. For Richer or Poorer, I have this on VHS, so that is an upgrade. Pierce Brosnan, Susan Sarandon, The Greatest on Blu-ray. The old Blockbuster cases with the little security tab. Then any Blockbuster, they would stick or any Blu-ray, they would stick the Blu-ray artwork and then have this blue on the top. Very nostalgic. Here's the Blu-ray non-stop. We mentioned last week I showed off the DVD. This is the Blu-ray to pair with that. Then, Jane Mansfield in Promises. Oh, it doesn't show any bits there, but for the wandering eye, very safe to cover that up. New York Minute, the full screen edition. I think I have the widescreen edition. I did not have this variation anyway, so that's cool, and it comes with a cool insert, so we'll add that to the Mary Kay and Ashley bookshelf. Some Robert De Niro with Savage Salvation. open season on Blu-ray. I have the full run of movies. There's 4, I believe. I have the 4-film movie collection on DVD, but I wanted open season on Blu-ray, especially for $1. Then I have the whole run of X-Men Evolution. They need to do a complete series release either on DVD or Blu-ray of this. But I have they did, I think, 3 and 4 as season sets. 1 and 2 was split between volumes, either VHS or DVD. So decided to get a backup of exposing the truth. You don't come across, at least I don't, X-Men Evolution. Then D. Snyder's Strangeland, a cool psychological thriller. I guess Josh recommended that to me. I have not seen it myself. The remake of Flight of the Phoenix with Dennis Quaid for $2. So that's a cool upgrade. Then needed this on Blu-ray. I'm trying to get all the vacation movies VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. So I needed this on Blu-ray. I have the cool vacation VHS box set with all 4 of the films sealed in the box, which is cool. And then I have most of them on DVD, but I don't have all 4 on Blu-ray. So that's another one off the list there. Then we have some classic ones here. A Song to Remember, Over the Riviera? Yeah, Riviera. And then, what was it? Down Argentine Way. Then I have this on VHS, so this is an upgrade. Rodney Dangerfield, Ladybugs, which we watched as youth, as children. So that's a neat one there. This one has been on my wish list for probably months, if not years at this point. Yeah, 2024. Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, with Daffy and Porky there. For whatever reason, this is hard to find online and in the wild. So for $7, I'm picking that up all day. And $2 for a season of Tulsa King. I'm a big Stallone fan, and I've been wanting to see this series. Given that price, that's not a lot of hope for a good show, but we'll see. Then we have all these studio releases, CBS, Survivor, and The Amazing Race. We'll start with The Amazing Race. I had this one, Season 2, but it was Volume 1. So I would have had to get Volume 2. I don't know if there was a Volume 3. I don't think there was. But I would have had to had a second volume. So I traded that in. I don't know if that made it to the reject pile or they actually took it or not. They did have other volumes in there, so I don't know. But this is the complete season, so that's great, especially for $4, because you had to order these on CBS, and then it's like a burn-on-demand thing, where they had the disc. Well, if I can get the disc out. If you see purple, that means that it was on demand. It wasn't like a factory pressing. This is an actual disc. That's something. But these are very hard to find, and to find all these in one McKay's location is something else. This is season 4 of The Amazing Race. Then we have all these Survivor seasons. We have Guatemala with Steph. We have the Amazon with Heidi and Jenna and Rob C, of course. That was a good season. Gabon. A lot of people don't like Gabon, but I actually really enjoy Gabon. It does have a lot of flaws, but I like it. Earl and Yaman in Fiji. We have Ozzy's first go in Cook Island with Yule. And Pinner there, who is an actor. Then we have China with Courtney, of course. So that, I've never seen this many seasons at any location selling movies. That is incredible. To have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 studio releases, and they had a couple more, which I already had. And then they had Heroes versus Villains, but for whatever strange reason, they split that into 3 volumes. And at McKay's, they had volume 1. So I decided against getting that, because it would be near impossible to get the other 2 volumes without spending $100. So decide to wait on Heroes vs. Villains, even though it's a great season. You can watch some seasons free on CBS.com, and some are on, I think, Netflix, I believe. So I'm not too worried about it, but it was great to get all these seasons. Then we end with the best thing, the best find of the day. That is CSI, the complete series, all 15 seasons of CSI. And look at that price. Would you just look at it? $47.95. I don't know if I showed the other 2 boxes, but they had the boxes. They didn't have these cases. Those were at the register, but they had the empty box, and all of them were facing out. So I looked at the first 2 boxes, and they both said $120, which is about what it goes for at Walmart. So I'm like, I don't want to be dropping that much at a McKay's. You know, that's not half my money for trade-in, but it was a good chunk that I didn't want to waste, you know. Not that it would be a waste, but that would be a little too high, especially for a used set. If it was new, still probably wouldn't pay $120, but so then I got to this box, and they're kind of all in a row on the top shelf, and I see 47, and I'm thinking, well, the plastic cases, they must be cracked, or the disc must be destroyed. But when I went up to check out, the first 2 discs were lightly scratched, but then every disc I looked at was mint, and the cases are good. I don't see any cracks or anything. I examined it before I purchased. So I don't know. I don't know if a different person priced this one than priced the other two. I don't know. I'm I'm not going to sit there and ask them why this one's cheaper. I'm going to pay the money and get out of there before they ask questions. But that was cool. That was a cool find. That's been on my wish list for quite some time. I would see it at Walmart. You see it on eBay. Don't really see it at thrift stores, really. But saw that at McKay's and $47. I jumped on that. Because I have all the individual seasons, and you look at this box. I mean, that's a big box, but it only covers a certain footprint. So this is the complete series. Think probably about there, probably the width of this screen. You have the 15 seasons, because they're thick seasons. At least the first 5 or 6, they're like that. They range anywhere from there to there. 14, 15 get smaller and smaller, but I think that's a good purchase right there. And Josh will be buying the 15 seasons from me because he does not have CSI. So that worked out pretty good in the long run. I think we showed everything. Survivor, Pops. So that was very cool. Very cool pickups. Shout out to McKay's Mebane. Their socials, they actually started following me. They shared my posts. If you don't follow me on Instagram, there are links down below to all my stuff, all my socials down below. Go check them out and join, follow, do all the stuff down below. Like, subscribe, share with a movie lover. Until next time, if you're close to McKay's, go to McKay's. Obviously, Knoxville is closing, RIP, but go to your McKay's out there. Worth the trip, and keep collecting.